We're live from New York City for the second time. This is the second attempt at streaming this. Hold on. Let's send a link to the customer. Okay. And now let me set up the live stream outside. Okay. We are also streaming in the hallway. Hopefully we are. We will be in a moment. Open app, allow. Patience, please. Thank you. Is that it? Now it's playing outside as well, I think. It's still not showing up on my computer that anyone's watching. Okay. I think we're live. See, I never know. I think we're live. Yeah. 2 viewers. One viewer is the customer. The other viewer is the hallway. We're streaming outside. So, we're live. Second attempt at streaming this. As I was saying, Halloween is coming. So, I'm preparing a Halloween special on the main channel, Guitar Quackery. This channel is Guitar Quackery Live. If you're watching this at any point in the future, you're watching a replay. Yeah. Right now we only have one actual person watching, the owner of the guitar. And the guitar is my old friend, the Gibson Explorer Gothic. Here it is. Whenever I work on an Explorer, I'm always very careful not to bang this corner. So I always move slowly. I move it slowly. So we'll be doing a full setup, premium setup. We are going to be doing, well, technically it's a mod. It's a, minor modification. These are ratio tuners. They will go on the headstock. I removed a few tuners already. So here we're using a 10mm socket wrench just to turn these, and then I just removed them. Now, I watched a replay of an earlier video because I pulled the guitar out of the case. I see it has no truss-rod cover, and I happen to have this on my bench, and I believe I just recently found it somewhere and just brought it here. I don't think it belongs to this guitar. If it does, just send me a text. We'll put it on. I don't think it does. So for now, there was a live stream of an assessment of these cosmetic issues on the headstock. We are not going to be doing cosmetic repair in this stream or video. If we do it in the future, we will do it in the future. So whenever you do a cosmetic repair of this nature, you can always do touch-up work here, for example, where if it doesn't go well, it's going to be covered by these, or somewhere under the truss-rod cover, like maybe this corner here. That's an option. But like I said, we're not doing it this time. This time, we'll only be doing the setup and minor upgrade, modification. Here we have the bridge and the saddle. What else? What should we do first? I'm going to turn the guitar over. Now, like I said, I'm very careful with the Explorers. So, excuse me just for a moment. I hear some beeping sound outside. What's beeping? Everything okay? That's you. The printer. Okay, cool. It was the printer. Just wanted to make sure. I have a whole bunch of equipment here. I never know what's beeping. If I hear something. Okay. That's that. Where was I? Let's remove these tuners now. Okay. That's not the most interesting part of this project, but we are doing it, right? I always check all the screws first to make sure they are turning. Sometimes they don't turn. I want to know before I do too much work if there's going to be an issue. Now that I've released tension on these screws, I can simply use the power tool. I am using a dynamic mic, so you don't hear a lot of environmental sounds like this, right? I'm using a dynamic mic because people are rehearsing outside. So the experience of watching a video without environmental sounds is not amazing, but you know. So, sorry, I just saw a personal text message came in. Let me see if it's important. There was a truss rod cover on the guitar when I brought it in. Was it this one? Because I had this on the bench. That might have been it. There was another message. Okay, the other message can wait. All right, so let's remove these toners now completely, okay? Yeah, so this truss rod cover on the bench, it was right here. I think this might have come from the guitar, right? I had no other Gibson lately, so. Okay, that's that. So these will go, I guess maybe I'll put them inside of this box when I'm done. Okay, we need to crack the seal open. This has a whole bunch of adapters. So we need to figure out which one of the which set of adapters to use. Okay, so I do need to study this just for a moment. Yeah, well, I think this one for here, right? So these are the adapters. So I'll just open this and take 6 of them out. That's it. They are aluminium or aluminum, however you want to say it. I wish they were anodized aluminium, but they're not. Okay, that's that. Let's close this. Put some tape. So let me check the text messages. Possibly. Well, I mean, it's the only explanation. I didn't have another Gibson in the past few weeks. I mean, I did have another Gibson acoustic, but a different story. Okay. Okay, so I just need to organize my work area. All right, I see they have numbers from 1 to 6, I believe. Show you. These are the tuning machines. It has the number 4 here, etc. Right? Okay. So now I guess what I'll do is I'll put these inside of these bags. The old ones. So I have a trick for not losing truss rod covers. Actually, I made a video about that because I've misplaced. Every tech does that. We all misplace truss rod covers. I know it's embarrassing and unprofessional. But I put it on the front. I'll show you when I flip the guitar over. And now we have these bushings. Okay, so let's talk about this. So these are So this will be number 6. It doesn't really matter which one I put there for now. Okay, let's put the correct one. Number 6. Well, it doesn't fit perfectly. I thought these were supposed to fit perfectly. There's always something. Look at that. So we couldn't possibly use any other adapter. This is the one. Okay. I need to move the camera here. Like I said, I'm always careful with Explorers. I don't want to knock it off balance. But I need to get this camera here. Okay, so here's the situation. Okay, so it's supposed to be at a 90 degree angle to this to the top of the headstock, right? Now if I align the screw with the screw hole, it's somewhere here. Okay, so let me install 2 of them and let's see what this thing looks like. This is number 5. So the other thing is that they come with these chrome screws. So, yeah. Yeah, you can just install the plates and then add the tuners later. I'm not really sure that this is the look we're trying to go for. But the only way to know if this will look okay is to install them all. I'm using the old screws for now, except for this one. one more. So right now we're not doing any irreversible alterations to the guitar. This is just a test, just to see if this is good or not. I'm actually going to remove them. Yeah, I think. Okay, let me turn the guitar again. Once again, I'm super careful with Explorers. Okay. Let's see. Well, the other thing is we should use the old washers. We can use the new bushings. To be honest, the old bushings look better. I'll use the old bushings. All right. Well, I guess that's an unexpected turn of events. But really the only way to know if this is going to be okay is to install them all and see. I guess I'll install them in order, even for the test. You know what, I'm not making any sense. I should install them in order, and I should first clean the headstock because we can do it easily now. All right. So yeah, we can't buff out the scratches because this is satin finish. We can't really buff satin finish. It can't be done. So these rings are a little bit bigger, the old ones. Obviously, they made they left a witness line around the rings, So if we put the new smaller ones, we will expose that, and and I don't think that's going to look good. Yeah, that's the rings. The bushings also look better. The old ones look better. They're a little more rounded around the edges, and there's nothing wrong with them. They are the same 10 millimeter, the same thread, everything the same. So I think it just makes sense to keep the old ones. I guess this could work. Let me put the ones away here so I don't get them mixed up. So ratio tuners, for all of you watching this at some future time, watching a replay of this live stream, that's the idea, ratio tuners. So each string requires slightly different amount of turns to get it to change the pitch for a certain amount. So each tuner is assigned to a specific string. I don't know how they deal with the fact that some guitars use a wound G and some use a plain G string. I don't know if there's different sets of ratio tuners. Okay, I think I just answered my question. It's a 14-to-1 for acoustic for the G string and a 35-to-1 for the electric guitar. Okay, so I guess you can order a specific set. Now, some electric guitar players use a wound G, so I would imagine you would need the set of ratio tuners that is meant for the acoustic guitar. But for something like that, I would call the company. This one feels different than this one. Okay. That makes sense. All right, so nothing's tight yet. The backplate mounting screws are kind of loose, and these bushings are also kind of loose, just tight enough to not rattle, okay? And this is just to see if it looks good. Okay, so. This is the look. I'm approaching the wall over there. to show the headstock. Now the back of the headstock, I can easily show with the other camera. Okay, so why don't I do that? I guess we can have also an overhead view. I guess it looks okay. The back. Okay, but I want to show it with the other camera. This is the back. I guess it looks okay. Now, the question is, well, first question, are we keeping them? Second question, should we use the chrome screws or the black screws? I mean, both work. The plate isn't chrome, so the chrome screw is not matching the color of the plate. But the black screw is matching this, all right? So, in my opinion, chrome looks kind of out of place. That's the thing with cosmetic touch-ups and such. If you do a touch-up and you try to match it perfectly and it's slightly off, it looks like something's been worked on. It looks like a patch. But if you do a contrasting, if you choose a contrasting color and incorporate some kind of design, it just looks like a design element. So if you ask me, I would go for black screws. I also believe that the black screws, they are in fact larger diameter. So the pre-existing screws are bigger in diameter than the new screws. So here we see them. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means the pre-existing hole is, so the black screw is going to be a tight fit inside of the pre-existing hole, and the new screw is going to be a loose fit. So that's the other reason why I would go for black, like black coffee. So shoot me a text. What do you think? First, should we keep the tuners? I think they look okay. I mean, I was not expecting them to be at a, maybe that's like a 75-degree angle, I don't know. But they're all parallel to each other. I think it looks okay. Yeah, and I will go with black. So please text me. You can think about it. You don't have to text me right away. So let me just put this black screw here for now. Because what? I don't know. Because now this one looks out of place, so. Just for technical reasons, I would go with the larger black screws. those were here initially, and obviously they will fit perfectly. Okay. Check the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're good. All right. Now let me put this away. So yeah, so you can text me with decision. Also, I made my own decision to install the old bushings and the old rings, but I'm happy to put the new ones, or the new bushings maybe, and keep the old rings. Whatever works best for you is good, right? There's no right or wrong. Okay. I just want to get rid of the clutter a little bit. So let's just put this away. And obviously I would keep the old parts somewhere, so that the guitar can always be restored to its original factory state. Okay. This is actually whiskey inside. Boris Yeltsin, he used to drink vodka from a teacup during his speeches. I guess he was addicted to vodka. Okay. Angle is unexpected, but if there is no functional problem, let's proceed. Yeah, I don't think there's a functional problem. I will try to pretend to tune the strings. Let's see. Let's use the black screws. Good decision. What about the bushings? Okay. Like I said, I'm happy to change them. No problem at all. Absolutely no problem. Okay, so now let me pretend that the strings are on the guitar. So it feels like the tuning knobs are a little bit closer together. They definitely are. It's just geometry, right? Yeah, this puts them closer together. So you can kind of feel the two adjacent knobs. It really depends which direction the two adjacent knobs are pointing. So let me do the worst case scenario here. Yeah. I mean, I can tune the guitar, no problem. So these are my thoughts. No one is going to think that this looks odd. In fact, it looks kind of cool. You know, you have a headstock going in one direction, then the tuners are going like this. I think that actually looks good. I think that improves the appearance, right? I think so. I would keep them. I think we should keep them. Okay, so now let's proceed with the project. We got work to do. First thing, that's whiskey, and this is naphtha. So I always open the door. I have open ceilings here, and I don't put my head over the fretboard when I use naphtha. It's very toxic. I always like to say this and repeat myself a million times because I don't know who might be watching these videos in the future. But there's nothing good about naphtha except that it works well on guitars. No amount of it is good for you. Not on the skin, and definitely not ingested in any way. So always work in a ventilated area. Hopefully you can do it outside, preferably. If you can't, there's very high ceilings here. I think like 12, 14-foot ceilings, I don't know. It goes somewhere. I just stand away from it, and then I put the rag outside or put it in the trash away from here. The rag, I mean the paper towel, okay? So I don't want some kids, or not even kids, but, you know, people just, they see techs use naphtha and they just kind of use it. They don't protect their hands, or, you know, they inhale it. Okay, so I use as little as possible, but as much as needed. Okay, that's it. So now, this is how I do it, right? I step away from it. It evaporates in this direction, right? It's a great product. It really works like nothing else. Okay, it removes the oils from the fretboard, kind of dissolves the oils. The oils just surface, and we have, you know, I saw a little bit of buildup of biofilm, so it removes all that. So biofilm, also known as fret cheese, is unavoidable, right? It just keeps building up. So I like to, you know, when I talk to customers, I like to explain this in a nicest way possible. You know, we do our laundry before our clothes are dirty, right? Because if we don't, then we'll be, you know, people will notice that we have dirty clothes. So, same with guitars. You know, we don't wait until guitars are covered with biofilm. You know, it's just regular maintenance. We just do it periodically. And I notice with some people, I guess some people shed skin more than others. Some people might have acidic skin, or they might perspire more. Some people have dry hands. Some people eat chicken wings before they play the guitar. Yeah. Okay. So I put it here outside for now because I want to continue working. Now I wipe it off. This is a very volatile chemical liquid, so it evaporates very quickly. I don't think there's any naphtha left right now. But yeah, I definitely see the difference. Yeah, okay, I don't need to use any more naphtha. That's that. You can use it on any part of the guitar, supposedly. The other thing that I use is, let me put the screwdriver away, sorry. And the screwdriver. For cleaning the guitar is the guitar detailer. Music Nomad product. I don't like all Music Nomad products, but I really like this. Right? So this is awesome. Just a little spraying. Here where the arm is rubbing, we always have, you know, discoloration. Let it soak just a little bit. Check the hardware. I've cleaned this guitar before, and I know that this is not going to come off completely. Because I'm only removing the biofilm, but what happens with nitro is it chemically changes over time. And this part of the guitar, if it was covered with skin particles and sweat, is going through different changes than this part of the guitar. So now this nitro finish here is chemically slightly different from this one. It's okay to let it soak for half a minute or a minute. Yeah, so we fixed this pickup thing. That's in another video. Here we always see a little bit of a buildup of biofilm as well around this height adjustment screw. This doesn't show any. The tip is in the bag. This is clean. This is a microfiber cloth. And you know, I want to share some tips in these live streams. One reason why I don't use steel wool is because it gets on the bench. It also gets in these rags. So now, if you do this, and you have steel wool particles embedded, you will be scratching the guitar. But no worries, steel wool doesn't come anywhere near my bench, except once in a video off the bench here. That was for a YouTube video. About steel wool and frets and pickups. So everything shows on black. Gotta clean this and this. Again, very careful with Explorers. Gotta clean this. And here. I mean, I gotta clean the whole guitar. I'm just saying, these are the spots that are critical. Yeah, I'm just letting it soak for half a minute, which gives me the opportunity to say, if you haven't clicked the like button yet, well, maybe that's the time to do it. If you haven't subscribed yet, that might be the time to do it. And if you haven't had enough water to drink, don't get dehydrated, that's the time to do it. Or vodka from a teacup. The biggest difference between nitro finish, which is this, and poly is that nitro never cures, okay? Poly does. Curing is not the same as drying out. Curing is a change in the chemical composition. Right? And nitro doesn't do that. Well, it kind of does, right? Because we were just talking about this. But that's because it's fusing, I guess, with the chemicals from the arm. So I think parts of the nitro here will change chemically over time. I don't know. All I know is you can't buff it out. It's because it's in the finish. So the way I handle an Explorer, I always put my hand on this corner here. Okay. An Explorer is kind of like wearing a backpack in public, in a crowded subway. It sticks out, and you're not aware of the fact that you're, you know, bumping into things. Okay, let it soak. There is this water slide decal on the back, and the logo on the front is also a water slide decal, but it's been sprayed over. So so it's safe to clean over the water slide decal. Okay. On some guitars, such as some vintage Fender guitars, they put the decal back in the day over the finish. And even on reissues, they do the same because they're reissuing, right? And you can easily remove that water slide decal from a Fender headstock. I've seen it done. Now, Fender is really nice about it. If that happens, you send them pictures of your guitar with the serial number and all, and pictures of the damage, and they will send you a water slide decal, the official matching one, right? Free of charge. We want to really clean the neck, the back of the neck, because obviously that's the part of the guitar that's always being touched. And also, I don't want to soak it for a long time. I'd rather do 2 or 3 passes. So let's talk about something else. There's another great product from Music Nomad, which is great, but you have to know how to use it. Let me put this away. And it's called Guitar Polish. Okay, I don't recommend you ever use it. Yeah, don't use it, but it's a great product. And I'm saying that is because it's kind of like a helicopter. It's a great thing. Don't try to fly it if you haven't had training. Same thing with that. Okay, you can easily damage the finish on a guitar. And I would never even attempt to use it on a satin finish. On a satin nitro finish. Well, this is as good as it's going to get, I think. Although I'm going to try a little bit more here and here. Like I said, I worked on this guitar, I think, twice already. So I know this guitar, and I know this is not going to come off. Yeah, okay, so this is clean. Let's have a look at the bridge. I think I cleaned it already, right? It's very clean looking. What I do is I have toothbrushes that are just for this, okay? And, you know, you can easily clean between the small parts with a toothbrush. Okay? But this is very clean. I think I cleaned it already. I believe I did. Yeah, this is not going to come out. Again, it's in the actual finish by now. It's part of the character of the guitar now. Okay, so the neck is nice and smooth now. Again, I hold this corner. Now let's work on the fretboard. We have a couple of options. Well, we have a few options. I do have a fret shield, Gibson scale length. In this particular case, I don't see the need to tape it off. So the fret shield isn't good for every job. This is the fret shield. Okay, it really isn't good for every job. I worked on these frets before, so I think it's good for this job because I worked on these frets before, so I did all that had to be done to get really down to the, lowest corners touching the fretboard. So, but sometimes it's just necessary to tape off the fretboard because the fret shield is thicker than the tape, and it also doesn't wrap around the edges of the fretboard. Okay, but in this case, I think the fret shield is a good choice. I take some elastic bands and I secure the fret shield on the fretboard. As you can see, I already have a tape there from a previous job protecting the nut. No need to change it. I want to reduce the impact on the environment. I'm serious. Every little bit counts. Now, we have to be mindful of what's happening here, potentially. So there's a comfortable gap. How can I show this? Maybe I use this between the body and the fret shield. And there's a comfortable gap between the pickup ring and the fret shield. Same on this side. This is touching the pickup. I don't see an issue with that. We could lower the pickup a little bit. Yeah, why not? I guess I should have done that before. That's the pickup that I modified in one of the live streams. And also posted a long form video about that. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so now I do want to protect around this. That's why I have a bunch of, paper for recycling right here. I reorganized the shop, and now I'm not finding things. I think like that. How about that? So let me tape it down. Here I have two different types of tape. This one will go over the plastic. Okay. And over the paper here. And here. Now, you can use this tape on most nitro finishes, but not all nitro finishes are created equal. So the one tape that's definitely safe to use on any nitro finish is this one. It's a really non-stick tape. It's kind of like a post-it note. I think that's good, right? I think we're good. Okay. We'll be polishing and buffing the frets now. One hour, 8 minutes, 36 seconds into the live stream. Okay, I like to put things away. Any polishing and buffing removes material. That's what it does. So we want to remove as little material as possible. So I'm not going to reach for, so I have these polishing pads, micro mesh. Technically that's like sandpaper, but you know, the grit, what you call it, the abrasive is on foam pad, right? So I'm not going to reach for the first one. I'll start somewhere closer to the middle. I will start with 2400 grit. I'm just using my best judgment. Yeah. 2400 grit, that's been used before. So it's not the same as 2400 grit that is brand new out of the box. So let me organize my work area here. Where I put it, it's here. Okay. Yeah, right there. Okay. So here we go. We have the fretboard here. This is 2400 grit, right? So this is not sandpaper, technically speaking, right? It's a sanding foam pad. So the first pass, I want to spend maybe a little more time on the frets because it's also removing the oxides. Once we remove the oxides, then we'll just be dealing with scratch removal. Okay, now we want to dust it off. Put these here so the grit doesn't fall on them. Okay, next one is 3200, then it's going to be 36, then 4000, 6000, 8000, and 12,000 grit. Okay. That was 32, this is 3600. $4,000 grit. This is the final one, which is 12,000 grit. More of the same visually, but you know, it's a different grit. You know, people often ask, you know, what do you use to polish the frets? It depends. Now I'm clearly showing you what I am using, but I don't always use all of the grits. I actually looked at these frets before the live stream under the microscope, and I worked on these frets myself. A few months ago, I can check. So it's not always going to be the same answer for every guitar, every situation. Yeah, so these are micro mesh polishing pads. They're great. They're not the only thing that I use. So just keep watching the channel. You'll see me use other things. Sometimes I might explain why I'm using, like now I was explaining why I'm using the fret shield. I also don't, in this case, I didn't want to hit the sides, the fret ends too much. So the shield kind of prevents me from hitting the fret ends too much. Yeah, so the fret shield was my decision now. I did make a video about the fret shield when I first got it. I didn't like it at first, but I like it for some jobs. It has its uses, very useful tool. Okay. I just wouldn't say that it's the tool that everyone should use for every guitar, in every situation, for every job. Okay. Now we'll use the power tool. Okay. It's not a Dremel is a brand, so I don't want to call it a Dremel. It's like a rotary tool. Okay. And we're going to buff the frets now. Why don't I, oops. Yeah. I just need to reorganize my work area here. We'll use this in a moment. Okay. Those are the strings we'll be using. Okay, let's do it. And this is another thing that, you know, I don't want to just advise people to use. Any power tool on a guitar. In this case, with these, you can overheat the frets, and that can cause issues. So it's not about necessarily what you use, it's how you use it, how hard you press on the frets, how much time you spend on the fret, how much time you spend in one area. See here, I'm you know, just doing light passes, and I'm looking at the fret. I sometimes watch live streamers, guitar channels. The channel I currently watch, I try to watch him every Thursday, is a really cool guy from Scotland. He says it differently. Steve Cassidy. Man, what a nice guy. I just really like his. I like his live streams. I like how he talks to people, and yeah. So I just watched him a few hours ago. I posted a couple of comments. I mean, chat messages. Is that what they're called? I was watching his live stream once when I was in London on the Elizabeth line. That's their underground tube, underground subway, the Elizabeth line. The Elizabeth line is advanced. They have Wi-Fi, so I was able to watch him live. And I posted a comment, and I even made a recording of it. And I posted that on my main channel, which is Guitar Quackery, which is not the channel you're watching now. So what you're watching now is Guitar Quackery Live. That's the name of the channel. The main channel is Guitar Quackery without the word live in the title, right? So by the way, if you like to watch me work live streams, subscribe to this channel. If you prefer to watch only edited videos, long form, then subscribe to Guitar Quackery. And if you like both, then you have the option to subscribe to both. I'm doing it this way because so some guitar channels that I used to follow, I kind of stopped following almost because of the live streams. I don't want to say which channels, because I have nothing against them. I still like them. It's just that I didn't subscribe to their live streams years ago, right? I subscribed to their educational content, long-form videos. And live streams are different. So they kind of lost me. So the people who subscribed to the main Guitar Quackery channel subscribed because they liked the format of the videos, which was edited long-form videos, right? That was what they subscribed for. If I start throwing live streams, they might not like that. But if they do like live streams as well, they can simply subscribe to this channel as well. Obviously, it costs them nothing. Right? So it looks like I'm halfway done, but these frets are closer together, so that's always an illusion. I do this every day. And when I say every day, I mean weekends, weekdays, holidays, every day. That's what the word every means. Yeah, look it up in the dictionary. You'll see. Every day. As you can see, I'm using a cordless power tool. I prefer that. I always remove guitar straps because I don't want to pull the guitar off the bench by accident, and I don't want to use any tools that have power cords for the same reason. Sometimes I need to use a multimeter, which has two long cables. What are they called? The probes connected, right? So I'm always careful not to, you know, pull the guitar off the bench. It hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen to other techs. I won't say who. Someone. You don't know them. Him. I've seen it happen once. I don't think the customer ever found out. I think it was a Fender bolt-on neck style guitar, something like that. So nothing happened. Sorry. I like to keep my head away from this. Because I don't like to inhale these particles, so my nose is on a different plane. As you can tell, this takes a minute. Different options to protect the fretboard. So you should you know, watch my live streams, and you will see I don't always do this. The live streams are not tutorials. I mean, yes, sometimes I will go over some technical details, but that's not the idea of the live streams. The live streams are mostly for customers, so they can watch me as I work on their guitars. So what I do is when I set up the stream, I just text a link to the customer and invite the customer to watch. Now, yesterday, 2 of the live streams happened late at night, after midnight. So I'm always kind of, you know, wondering if I should do that or not. but I assume that people have their phones silenced after a certain time if they don't want to be disturbed. So the late night customer yesterday did not complain. Like I said, I streamed 2 videos last night. Why don't we talk about this? I'm removing the buffing compound now. And this also actually buffs the fret, right? Obviously. So you could say that this is another buffing stage. This guitar is well played. I can tell by the natural relic on the body. But the frets barely have any dimples. A little bit here on the 3rd fret. I see on the 2nd and 4th. A little bit on the 5th, and microscopically on the 6th. A little bit on the 1st. So yeah, I guess these have a higher nickel content. I mean, I don't really know. I just know that some players wear through the frets rapidly and others don't. And I think there must be a combination of reasons as to why that happens or doesn't happen. Okay, we're not done yet. Now I have a buffing paste over here, right? This is why I have this here with a Q-tip. Put it on the fret. Okay. Different rotary tool. I mean different buffing wheel on this one. And you can see I put always a very tiny amount. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a difference between these 2 frets and the rest of them. The camera doesn't show, but there is a difference. You can't see it. I don't know if this camera might show. Not. No way. And this is not a tutorial. I'm just doing it. So just take a little buffing paste and smear just a little bit on the fret. I don't want to go all the way down because I don't want to rub it off with my hand. And you don't want to put too much because it splashes all over the place if you put too much, and it doesn't do a better job. Yeah. Do you see the mosquito? Damn it. There's a mosquito flying around. He's here now. She. It's a female. And I have a secret weapon. Deadly weapon. There. Okay. This gives us the opportunity to do some scientific, observations. So let's see. Ah, there you are. You see? And now when let's zoom in a little bit. When I push the button, okay, not much happens. Now, watch. Okay. Just in case. Okay. Just in case. You never know. Okay. Back to work. Where was I? Here. I was here. Yeah, the mosquito just came for a little snack. Sorry. This is not a restaurant. I'm not really sure how long it takes me to do all the, typical fret dressing. It's not the same for every guitar. I used to do standard. I used to offer standard or premium. I no longer offer standard. There's no point. So this doesn't last forever. Yeah, nothing lasts forever. Second law of thermodynamics. I think I saw another mosquito. Yeah, so this kind of dressing, cleaning, polishing needs to be done periodically. I wish I could say that I follow my own advice, but I don't. I mean, who's got time for this? Man, I tell you, you have to pay me to do this. Well, come to think of it, people are paying me. So, yeah. Well, but they don't pay me to work on my own guitars. I don't know why not. Maybe I should charge them. Where would I send the bill? I used to use way more buffing paste, but you know, now I use a little Q-tip, and that saves me money, because you only need a little bit, a tiny little bit. More than this doesn't do anything. It doesn't improve the results. It's almost 9 p.m. We've been streaming for, I can see here, there's a timer on the monitor, 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 19 seconds. Three more frets. That's it. Okay. Okay, we're gonna recharge this battery later. Now we can remove this buffing compound, buffing paste. And we're almost done. That's another way of saying we're not done yet. So yeah, live streams. It's an idea that I'm launching. I've had this idea for a while. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I have all these cameras. Been meaning to do this for 5 years, I want to say. 4 or 5 years. I've been trying to get other people involved. It didn't evolve. There was a lot of talk and no action. Well, the only action was taken by me. I started buying cameras and all the equipment. My first idea was to do remote diagnostics, remote services during COVID, during the lockdown period. I just tried to, at that time, I tried to come up with a way to make money. So thinking people would, play their guitars at home, they would need services. They weren't spending money on movie theaters or whatnot. They were ordering online a lot. So I did some remote diagnostics. I did that. And I still do it sometimes when people don't have time to stay here, okay, to, for the assessment part of the service. But I always had streaming on my mind. And now I'm finally doing it. So this looks pretty, nice and shiny. Again, careful with the Explorer. So I don't know if the light can, if I can catch a good light reflection. Okay. Yeah, let's just focus on the work. I am not done yet. One thing I will do now is actually proprietary. So I came up with it. One day, I think I might publish it, but not just yet. So here I have my thing. And again, the Explorer is more difficult. And I go over all the frets. I lay the guitar down. Okay. Like I said, proprietary. So I can call my fret dressing procedure, polishing, buffing procedure, a proprietary procedure. Because I do something that I don't think anyone else is doing. And if they are, good for them. Okay. this gives me the opportunity to tighten these bushings. Never over tighten them, okay? Never over tighten. Okay. I also want to check something. Okay, let's talk about these tuners. They're called ratio tuners, right? So they have different gear ratios, and that's why they're called ratio tuners. And I can feel this one feels softer than this one. Feels very stiff, very soft, something in between, very stiff, even stiffer, and kind of medium. So I don't know if maybe these screws are not tightened properly, or maybe over tightened in some cases. I've installed a few of these, and I don't remember this being the case. So this one's the really stiff one. Let me see. This is stiff. Now it's very loose. So I think the stiffness is adjustable, just like on the regular tuners. Yeah, this feels better now, more uniform. I think they were just not adjusted properly. Okay. I want to take this box, put it outside. Just excuse me for a moment. Is there anything else in the case that I need to know about? Just making sure. Another set of strings and a pick. Okay, that's good, because if I break a string, I always like to have an extra set. It can happen. Okay, let's open this pack. Oh, I need to charge my battery on my computer. I have a timer here on the charger so it doesn't overcharge it. check something. Where are the strings? Okay. So here we see the string. I can't tell. Is there... Yeah, there's a coating, right? I need a little more light. That's an excess coated string. That's what I thought. It says excess E 1046. Oh. Once again, I'm doing like a Halloween thing. That's the time of year. There should be, I hope there will be a Halloween special on the main channel for Halloween, a Halloween special. If everything falls into place, and I need this sign for that Halloween special. So make sure you subscribe to the other channel. Gently, because of the coating. You don't want to rip the coating off the string. That's one reason why I checked. So the treble strings have a different coating than the bass strings, than the wound strings. Okay. It's not the same coating. It's the same. So if you buy the Dario XT strings, they have the same coating on all of them. If you buy the Dario XS strings, they use one type of coating on the treble strings, on the plain strings, and a different type of coating on the bass side, on the wound strings. Yeah. Okay. So now. Okay. We can now remove the fret shield and this. So the white tape does not damage nitro. I've left it overnight, even for a week, on vintage nitro finish guitars. Nothing happened. The fret shield does have a few minor design flaws. This is one of them. You don't really need these overprotective hooks to hold the rubber bands. And when you buy the fret shield, it only comes with 5 rubber bands. But if you buy 2 fret shields, we end up with 10 rubber bands. Of course, they don't last forever. The rubber bands I'm using now are not those that came with the fret shields that I bought. Okay, next. The fretboard rejuvenator. Do we need it? A very small amount. So you know how oil and water don't mix? So that's the idea of putting oil. Now, I don't put liquid oil because I don't like the idea of oil wicking into the wood grain between the fret tangs and the fret slots. The end grain of the wood is like a weak point, right? It can absorb a lot of oil. So, yeah, but this also is one last cleaning and buffing. Yeah, final step. Well, not final step yet because I'm doing this too. Come on, switch. What I really wanted to switch to was this. All right. We want to align all the tuning machines. Let's put this away. Is that a mosquito? And let me take a winder. Again, I'm switching to the wrong camera. Okay. We want to align all the tuning machines. So that these point kind of towards the tuners, towards the nut. So here, now, if I show you like this, in this case, this one is pointing towards this tuner. I'm sorry, the tuner is pointing towards the string slot, a little bit away from it. So now, normally I might take a break now, you know, but I'm live streaming, so at least I need to drink some water. Oh, I did say it was whiskey. We are going to be stringing the guitar. No more water. I have an app that reminds me to drink. And I log each time I drink. And I kind of estimate how much I drink. I mean the amount. Whatever. Because I get dehydrated and I get headaches, migraines. Okay, so we'll need this. This is to hold the tailpiece. Let's put this here. So the existing string slots tell me that the screws were facing this direction. Okay, that's not my preference, but that's how it is. So a Gibson tailpiece doesn't have the two little clips like an Epiphone. And sometimes, well, it doesn't fit. Yeah, of course it fits. I like to put this here to hold it. That's what this is for. And that's it. So now we have this camera here. I don't need this. So let's not forget the truss rod cover. I'll put it right here. The screws are right here. Truss rod cover. Okay. We're good to go. Make sure that the string is all the way in. The frets are all nice and shiny. Slippery. I'm just checking them. I don't feel any bumps or anything. Okay, cool. And now with these tuners, I need to unlock them first, right? They are locking tuners, so unlock. So the idea is to have the string end up like around here. So some people say they like to use locking tuners for speed. It takes me longer to figure out everything, right? And I'm judging they're not all the same, all locking tuners. So now I'm locking it here. And now I need to so I'm just playing the string. I'm trying to determine. So, okay, this is, you know, elevated here. You know, we're adding relief to the neck. There's not enough relief yet because there's only one string. But I'm just trying to determine if I have the bridge approximately at the height where I want it to be. And it's too low. So before the string is too tight, I want to raise this side. I want to raise it. I'm going to have to raise this side as well, I'm sure. Okay. I prefer to start a little higher, by the way. Yeah. And it's still tuned lower, at a lower pitch. So now let's do the high E. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing now with the different angle, like this part hits the toner, so it's still workable, but yeah, it's fine. Let's tighten this. And again, I'm just going to check if I'm in the ballpark. I'm a little higher, and that's where I want to leave it for now. Okay? Which means I think I should cut these two strings off. Okay, now I'm looking at this. I need to raise the tailpiece on this side a little bit. Okay, so here I have a gap. Here I don't have a gap yet. And this is tuned at a lower pitch so that it's easier to turn the screws. Now I have a gap, right? You can see this. There's a gap. And on this side, there's also a gap. Okay. This is a onion skin feeler gauge. Okay. Now we can put the other strings on. autofocus is going crazy. It's hard to hit it exact, you know. So I'm keeping the string fairly loose, and I'm holding it here like this. Lock the tuner. Kick it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think locking tuners take less time. I think they take more time. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. Okay, we'll be doing a setup soon. So I no longer need this holding the tailpiece. I don't think you can hear anything because the dynamic microphone doesn't pick up this sound. So now you might hear some background music, but the band rehearsing is further away, so I don't know how much of the background music you will hear. And now I believe you hear the ambient sound. I don't know, I hope. So we are going to be tuning and doing a setup. So I will for now just place this here. This is the microphone. How about here? Okay. And I'm not sure if you can even hear the string or not, but you know. Okay, I'm tuning the guitar. Oh, I want to adjust the height of that pickup, raise it up a little bit, because I lowered the pickup for the fretwork. Okay, this is the approximate height. Good enough for now. neck relief a little bit. So I have the neck block all the way here, so I don't add additional relief to the neck. Let's see. So I don't know what it was like before. It is good to let the guitar settle a little bit. So the adjustment of the truss rod isn't easy on this headstock style. This is why I always wish I have extra strings, because this is kind of, the string is in the way. What am I doing? Stress over this too much for now, because I do want to give it a little time to settle. I like it, the truss rod isn't too stiff, so I mean too tight. This is good for now. I want to check the action. Just before I put it in playing position, I want to just see from here if it's roughly where it needs to be. No, it's too high. And that's what I wanted. So I want to lower the action. This is a Gibson tool. A bridge jack. This one moves easier than the one on bass side. Okay. This is roughly where the action should be. Okay, so let's put in playing position. And check the action. Too high. Let's see how it feels. It does feel too high. So I like to adjust 61 thousandths of an inch on the treble side and up to 80 on the Gibson on the bass side. I'm a little below 60 now. And on the 12-inch fretboard, I should be able to bend without fretting out at 60. I am dead on at 60. I want to know if it feels different because we have ratio tuners. Oh, that's a vacuum cleaner. I think we might have to plug it in. Well, if I push this button, you should be able to hear the guitar through the audio interface. The battery is almost dead in the computer. Okay, we've been streaming for, where do I see this? 2 hours, 42 minutes and 48 seconds. Okay, so, yeah, I think the new tuners work fine. Yeah, I would say they work like tuners. I think you should be hearing the guitar through the computer because I'm plugged into the audio interface now. check the nut also. We haven't done any work to alter that, but just double check. Like I said, I worked on this guitar before. I mean, I'm eyeballing it. I think I worked on the nut before. I remember doing some kind of compound filling. There was a gap or something like that, right? That's what I was doing. So I was doing some work on the nut. Oh yeah, there was a gap between the ebony and the nut. That's what it was. Right. Okay. Intonation.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till they.
And we're almost done.
You think?
I didn't do it, Robert. Two of you youngest people would solve this, so I killed this fucking shit.
It was pretty normal.
I'm checking to see if the tool fits.
I think like
It's very dark.
a kiss. It is so.
See, that's why I don't like it from the back. This is easier from here. But, you know, that's how it came from the factory, I guess. Okay, so we can access this one, this one,
2 hours. I was like,
this one.
like I wonder.
Tuesday was weird. I mean, I was here with someone, so that's chill, but like, I don't know. It is kind of weird when there's like literally nothing to do. I'm not used to that. I feel like I'm only
Okay.
here for a few hours and I'm
We
like,
can access all of them.
Yeah, like closing like the busiest time.
Okay.
I don't know, like people are asking me for stuff at once.
This is a great guitar. I think I'm gonna keep it.
Before it chilled out.
Yeah. I understand. I feel like some people just practice.
Where are we at with the action here?
Should we throw out the bottle or
Yeah, probably.
I think I should lower it a little bit more.
What else would we do?
Now I can turn it without jacking up the
Maybe on the
bridge.
back?
I'm gonna do this one right here.
Sorry. Sorry about that. So, so I don't know.
What?
We might
So,
need to mop a little bit up
This
here.
is supposed
We got
to
some drippy garbage.
give us precision, right? That's the whole point of the ratio tuners. I mean, I like the way they feel. They didn't come adjusted correctly. Sorry. Some of them were feeling stiff, and one of them was feeling very loose. So it's important to, you know, check that during setups, I guess. That's the little screw on top, okay? Because there's a little washer, spring washer, and a spacer. They work together, and the screw adjusts the tension of that spring washer. So we're just doing the intonation. I just want to make sure. I don't think the intonation is gonna be off. This one is off. I mean, it's actually a good idea to check the intonation every time you change the strings. I think especially on a bass guitar. So I guess on the bass side of a guitar, because the windings on the strings so I need to bend the string a little bit to get it up to pitch, so I need to shorten the string.
Oh no.
You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Tiny amount. No, it's double check the relief now that the guitar settled a little bit at full string tension, right? Some technicians say that you should always measure relief in playing position, and I can understand the logic of that. But it's actually difficult to measure it in playing position, and it's easy to damage the guitar if you try to do that. So I always measure it on the bench, and that way I always have the same exact reference point. It's the same when you go to the doctor. They should always measure blood pressure when you are relaxed. But, you know, we could ask, we're not relaxed like this throughout the day. Yeah, but that's just how you measure blood pressure every time. So, I guess when you always measure relief on the bench, it's always the same reference point. It did not change.
Getting this Band-Aid so gross.
I think I should lower the treble side a little. Now it's at 60. Okay.
Yeah, they're back there. In the way back.
I'm gonna double check everything, maybe tomorrow, because the guitar's been sitting without strings for quite a few days, so
Turn up the light in there?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna end it now. Make sure you subscribe if you like this kind of content, live streaming, and let's talk soon. Thank you.